Hey everyone, today I'm going to be making an American Girl doll bed and storage unit out of a plastic container. The things you're going to need are a plastic container, make sure it's at least 18 inches long, the scissors, hot glue or fabric glue or super glue, foam, stuffing, fabric, and then optional supplies are felt or dry erase tape. I apologize for some of the things I do being out of frame. If it's anything important, I'll make sure to let you know. So the first thing that you're going to do is cut your fabric and your foam. Your foam needs to match the size of your container top, and your fabric has to be big enough to be able to fold the edges all the way around the foam. So what you're going to do is take your hot glue and put glue around the edges of the foam and then fold the fabric up over it. Make sure it's nice and tight on the other side so you don't get any wrinkles on the front of your mattress. Make sure you tuck the corners in nice and tight so they don't stick out. One thing I want to make sure and let you know, when you're using hot glue, especially in a thin fabric, like mine, I use silk, it's extremely thin. It's very easy to burn yourself through the fabric without even touching the actual glue. So please be careful, use a low heat glue gun or put something between your fingers and the hot glue. So you're going to put the glue on and fold it up all the way around, making sure the corners are tucked in nice and tight. There we go. I'm just tucking down the extra bits of corner with some extra glue. Go ahead and show you. And then I'm going to set that aside. Now I'm decorating the side of my container because it's fairly tall and I wanted my doll to have a little bit of extra space. So I'm making a backrest right now. I just used felt as a little bit of cushion and I hot glued it onto my container. My felt wasn't quite big enough, so I cut a little bit of an extra piece, which is what I'm about to do now. Sorry, excuse me, you guys. So as I'm cutting that, I will tell you some other things you could do. If you wanted, you could use some extra foam and cover it with fabric and glue it on if you wanted an extra cushion. Or you could use Velcro to be able to change the color of your felt. If you wanted to put Velcro stickers underneath your felt, then you could change colors. I chose to do white felt so that if I decide I want another color, it won't show through. Now what I'm doing is using dry erase tape. I'm going to put dry erase tape on that other empty space on the front of the container so that my doll can have a message board or just something to draw on. So I chose blue because it matches my mattress. I'm cutting it into even strips so that it covers the front and a little bit of the side. I'm not doing it all the way around because the other sides of my bed will be covered. If you want to do it all the way around, absolutely feel free. You could also use duct tape or tissue paper or fabric, or you could even paint your container, or you can leave it blank. So now I'm just putting the tape on and tucking it underneath the felt. I had a little bit of an issue with the handles on my container, which is what I'm adjusting right now. So make sure you account for that if your handle has clasps or if your container, has handles or clasps like mine does. And I'm also making sure to get any bubbles out of my tape so that I don't have any gaps when I'm trying to write on it. So you can leave a little bit of space at the edge of your felt where there's no glue so that you can tuck the tape underneath. So there it is. Once I finished, I wrote "Welcome Home, Elizabeth" on it, and there's my backrest cushion. So there I'm showing you that I have clasps on my container. Yours may or may not have those. If you do, make sure you're careful that you don't put glue where they need to open and close. Oh, sorry, adjusting the camera a little bit. So now what I'm doing is I'm about to glue my fabric onto the top of my container. I'm going to put glue around the edges. My cover has a little bit of a ridge on it, which I thought was extremely helpful to help guide where I put the glue, just making sure it fits. Now, as I mentioned, my container had handles on it. So if yours has those, once again, make sure you don't put glue where they clasp. I made sure not to put glue right over where the handles connect, you'll see me skip it there. So the glue doesn't have to look pretty, it just has to stick, because it's going to be covered anyways. Go ahead and center your mattress and put it on once you've got all the glue down. If there are any loose edges, go ahead and add more glue. That's what I'm doing right now, even though it's out of frame. Alright, so now all the corners are glued. There you go, mattress is on. Cover is done. Make sure it still fits and the clasps can all close. There we go. Nice and tight. Sorry, I'm out of frame again. So there it is. There's the mattress on the cover. So next, I decided to make a pillow for my doll using some of my extra fabric. I don't sew, so I use hot glue. You can use fabric glue or you can sew. So what I'm going to do, instead of hemming my pillow with by sewing it, I'm going to use hot glue, putting it a little bit away from the edge of the pillow, or edge of the fabric for the pillow, and folding the corner right over so that there's no chance of it fraying on the outside. So this is extremely easy to burn yourself while you're doing this because it's such a small piece of fabric that the glue can sort of sneak out to the edge and stick to your fingers. So be very careful when you're doing this. So you're just going to do that all the way around and make sure you get your corners tucked in. You'll notice that one of my corners I didn't tuck in very well, and then I had a little bit of trouble with it later on. So make sure those get folded down nice and even. Of course, you don't have to make the pillow, but I wanted to make a pillow that matched my mattress fabric, so I chose to make a pillow, and I had plenty of extra fabric anyways. There's that treble corner. So on that last one, there's two corners, so you've got to be very careful with that one. Go ahead and add your glue and fold that over. There we go. Make sure all your corners are down nice and tight. So once you're done with the edges, you can fold your fabric any way that you want to. You can use a pretty big piece and make maybe a body pillow. I'm just going to make a regular pillow. Make sure you get rid of all those extra strings on those extra hot glue strings if you use hot glue. So what you're going to do is fold your pillow in half and then glue two of the open edges together, leaving one of the edges open so that you can put in the stuffing. Make sure and line up your edges nicely. Go ahead and press the edges together so the glue stays. Now you're going to take your stuffing. I used polyfill. Choose how much you want and put it inside your pillow. You can make your pillow as fluffy as you want or as soft as you want. I chose to make mine fairly soft because my doll's neck is not very flexible and I don't want to damage her neck by putting too much stuffing under it. So there, I decided mine was had too much stuffing and I took some out. So once you've got your stuffing in, you're going to make sure none of it is in your way, and then you're going to glue that final open edge closed. Make sure it's closed nice and tight. Here's where that problem corner shows up. Make sure your corners are flat, but if you get one sticking out, go ahead and snip it off and tuck in the edges. I added a little bit of glue to keep my edges inside the pillow and keep them from fraying, especially since I use silk, which is extremely easy to fray. So there you have it. There's your pillow. There's one edge that's softer. I would recommend putting that one towards your doll's neck so you don't scratch her face. You can sew it. I chose not to. There you go. So here is the finished product. I didn't put a blanket on it because I didn't make a blanket because I already have some blankets. So if you like this video, leave a like or subscribe. Thank you.